Hi, Martin here. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a simple platform game with Scratch. And the game that I'm going to show you is called Evil Daddy. You'll find it on the Scratch website. So this is Evil Daddy. It's on the Scratch website. If you search for Nerdsville and you find the Nerdsville projects, you'll find Evil Daddy. And I'll show you the game. Click on the green flag. The yellow guy is the Evil Daddy. He's trying to stop the boy from watching TV and make him do his homework. The boy's got to get downstairs without running into Evil Daddy. Oops. And get to the remote. Oh,
Do your homework.
there you go. He lost a life then. And he's got to. Oh, he lost another life. Oh, he lost the game. If he gets to the remote control, he can turn the TV on and watch TV. But unfortunately, he's got -2 lives now, so I think he pretty much lost that game. Anyway, I'll show you how to make the game. First of all, the background. This background I made myself. You'll see it's simply a couple of pictures of my house stuck together, upstairs and downstairs, with some green lines to make an upstairs floor and some stairs. So that's pretty much the background. You could use one of the backgrounds from the Scratch library and modify it. You could make your own background. You don't even have to have the photograph. You could just make some green floor to for the character to move around on. Now the first script that we'll look at is the remote control script. There's the remote control sprite. It's just a picture of the remote control that I put some red on just to make it stand out. The script is nice and simple. When the green flag is clicked, set the size to 15% because we want it to be quite small, and go to X -184, Y -149. That simply puts the remote control in the correct position at the bottom left hand corner of the screen. If we go to this other version of Scratch that I have open, you'll see the Scratch stage is made up like a graph with X and Y in the center. As you move towards the right, the X coordinate goes up, so it's X equals 240 is the far right hand side of the screen. X equals -240 is the left hand side of the screen. Similarly, the Y coordinate goes up as you go up the screen, so Y equals 180 is the top and Y equals -180 is the bottom. If you look down here, you see these X coordinates and Y coordinates that are moving as I move my mouse. That shows where your mouse is pointing at the moment. So if you want to put something, say, there on the screen, if you have a look at the X and Y coordinates now, they say 135 and 81. Make a note of that. Tell your sprite to go to that position, and that's where it will appear in the game. So that's all I did with the remote control sprite to make it appear in the right position. The second sprite we're going to look at is the Red Hand Gang sprite, the TV sprite. So it's set to hide when you click the green flag, and then what's this here? When I receive win. Scratch can broadcast little messages from one sprite to the rest of the program, and so here I broadcast a win message. You find the broadcast block under events. Here it is. So down here you can see that I can broadcast win, and this little block here tells the TV screen sprite that when the broadcast win is received, the size has to be set to 11%, the correct size. The sprite has to be shown, it has to appear on the screen, and then I've got a little repeat that repeats 500 times an alternation between the two costumes. So I've made two costumes for the sprite that basically just are slightly different, and when you alternate from one to the other, it kind of makes the TV screen look as though it's flickering, so it makes the TV look as though it's on. So that's quite simple. The Daddy script. The Daddy script's getting a little bit longer. The main script is here on the top left hand side. When the green flag is clicked, it sets Daddy's size. It sets Daddy to go to -95, -155, which is the bottom left hand side of the screen where Daddy starts off, and he points in direction 90 degrees. And then there's a forever loop. These forever loops are very useful in games, and basically every time the loop happens, which is probably 60 times a second, Daddy turns a random amount between -5 and 15 degrees. He moves 10 steps. If he's touching the colour green, he turns 180 degrees the other way and moves 10 steps. That just makes him bounce off anything that's green. The sound scripts are over here. When the green flag is clicked, the volume is set and the young one's tune, which is the main tune, plays, and then it's got different sound scripts for when gotcha and win are broadcast. Over here is the boys script, and the boys script is the biggest and most complicated script, but if you pay attention you should be able to understand it. When the green flag is clicked, he points in direction 90 degrees, his size is set to 25%, and then I've made a few variables. Now variables are like little containers for containing information about the boy. I've made variables called boy X and boy Y. They are simply the boy's X and Y coordinates. I set the position where I want the boy to be at the beginning of the game. I've also given him 3 lives and set points to 0. Then, just like the daddy script, there's a forever loop. Inside the forever loop, the first thing I do is change the boy's Y coordinate by -1. So it moves him down the screen by 1 point. Now why do I do that? I do that to simulate gravity. So basically we want the boy to fall down the stairs when he gets to the stairs. And so I've said in this little bit here, if he's touching green, then I change the boy coordinate by 1 again, so that it basically doesn't change at all. So if he's on the green floor, he's not going to be affected by gravity, he's not going to fall. But if he's in this little gap here, or on the stairs, he's going to fall, because the Y coordinate is going to change by -1 every time every time the forever loop goes round, which, like I say, is probably about 60 times a second. The next thing that happens is that he goes to boy X and boy Y. So we always want him to go to the coordinates boy X and boy Y. Now, if the left arrow is pressed, if key left arrow pressed, change the boy's X coordinate by -1. So changing the boy's X coordinate makes him move left. If key right arrow is pressed, change the boy's X coordinate by 1 or +1. That makes him move right. If he's touching daddy, then you've got to broadcast gotcha. If he's touching the remote control, then you broadcast win, and you stop the script. Up here it's got a little bit of script for when gotcha is received. Basically it spins the boy round so that you can see that daddy's got the boy, and then it points him in the direction of 90 again, and it reduces his lives by 1. If lives equals 0, it broadcasts fail, and it plays a wah wah sound. I think the bit of script for that was actually broken over here. I'll go and mend that later. You can see also that if you look at the gotcha broadcast, if you go back to daddy, if you remember, when the gotcha broadcast is received, it plays this sound.
Do your homework.
There we go. And there you go. So that's a nice, fairly easy, but a nice simple platform game. You can get started on your own platform games. You'll learn quite a few things if you can make a game similar to this, like how to make a character move around the screen, how to do those forever loops that keep your sprites doing stuff for the whole game, how to position things on the screen. So try and go and try and make a project similar to this. Try and make your own platform game. Okay, thanks. Bye.